sorrow you're carrying. And that sorrow you're reworking in your mind over and over and over again. And all that does is keep you in a pattern of sorrow. So if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling upset, you want to release that, okay? And what this means is you have the opportunity to release this in 2020. Okay. It also may mean that you're part of a group of people, of 3 people, and those people may be hurtful or have destructive patterns connected with them that aren't good for you. So you may want to remove yourself from that group. So think about that as well. So in the next 3 months, you're going to be able to eliminate this pattern of negativity, this pattern of sorrowful or sad thinking. And it will be helpful for you to take steps to do that. Okay, so trusting yourself is also important. And I feel like you don't trust yourself enough, because if you start to trust yourself, you're going to inspire your confidence in yourself, because you're good at some things. Okay, and you need to start owning that. All right, no matter who told you what in the past, you are good at some things. And since you're good at these things, you're going to be able to embrace the talents you have this year, and you're going to be able to demonstrate them to others. Like maybe it has to do with work. Maybe it has to do with something you want to do for a living that's a side job. You know, there will be some recognition for you this year in your talents. So it will be a year of growth for you in 2020. And it will be important that you participate in activities that increase your self-esteem. Self-esteem is about feeling good about yourself. Increasing your activities in self-esteem means doing things that make you feel good, doing things that get you positive feedback. If you're participating in things that don't make you feel good or don't get positive feedback from others, maybe you need to reconsider what you're doing and what those activities are and if they're really serving you. What you could say as an affirmation would be, I value who I am. And start really owning that, because you have a lot to offer. And you need to embrace that, because there's so much of you to give to the world. So there are some things you will need to release. Any patterns you have that hold yourself back, 10 weeks to 10 months. Okay, that would include throughout 2020. So you need to express all of who you are, not just some of who you are. If you feel like you're holding back some of these gifts you have, or even what you would like to say to others and you just won't say them because you're concerned about what they think, start letting that go. You have the opportunity to be supported by the universe on this in 2020. So if you're holding back your power through your thinking and not expressing your true self, you need to release that now. Okay? You also may meet some new friends this year who will be special to you, and they may take you into their confidence, meaning they may share secrets with you or information with you. So it's important to honor their trust and keep their secret if it is for the highest good and does not cause harm to others. So no, people will see you special. People will want to talk to you. People will want to share what's on their mind because they trust you. So know that that is like a quality that's very magnetic, and you will start to pull those people into your circle of friends. So you will be experiencing a lot of change this year as well. And it is important to stay centered and strong during this change, especially when you go through your daily routines. If you feel like this change is throwing you off, it's really important to stay grounded. And that means, like stick with your schedule. Stick with what you know works for you. Okay? You might even want to be able to get outside, take a walk, connect with nature. That'll help ground you as well. All right? Don't allow other people to influence you this year either, because that can throw you off your game. And you know what? I think that you can accomplish more than you realize. And that's such a wonderful thing when you are able to do something and you can look at yourself and go, wow, I actually did that. That's amazing. You will accomplish progress towards your dreams this year. And I want you to own that and know that and feel that. And so another thing you want to think about is not to take people for granted this year either. Please be grateful for those who are loyal to you. I know sometimes people get on your nerves, and maybe those who are in your life the most get on your nerves the most, but perhaps it's because they feel comfortable telling you how it is, and they're the most loyal to you. And you know what? Finding people who are loyal to you is not that easy. There's a lot of people who would stab you in the back. There's a lot of people who would turn around and leave and ghost you. Be grateful for those who are loyal to you. You may feel a bit overwhelmed, so take one day at a time, all right? And take small steps towards progress. Okay, this year will also be a year to work on your third eye chakra. And what do I mean by that? Your third eye chakra is right here in the center of your head, and it will help you begin to understand energy. So energy can be seen as visions. It can be also felt as feelings, like a vibe. Like if people are angry, you may feel that. That's connected with the third eye. You also may start to see visions of angels, like Joan of Arc. That's possible. I'm not saying you'll see them right in the physical world, but you can certainly notice them when you start to go to sleep and drift off in your dreams. They love to come to us in our dreams. It's a real easy way for them to communicate with us. Your third eye chakra is also where you see your future, your goals, and where you can envision what you want out of life. So please be sure that you imagine where you want to go in life. Where do you want to go this year in 2020? Write down some goals. Do it right now. Write down some goals of what you want to see happen. And start feeling that. Imagine that. Feel all the feelings with it. Something else that the guides told me to tell you is to create a God box. Okay, and a God box is where you can write any of your worries or concerns on a piece of paper, and then put the piece of paper in a box. And you can choose a special box, like a jewelry box, or you can create a box, make it special, and then put your concerns in that box. And that will allow you to release the energy of concern and allow the universe to help you with it. So if you're worried about something, write what you're worried about on a slip of paper, put it in your God box, and let it go. Don't fixate on it, because that just keeps the worry in your energy. Okay, and also know, if you're hearing this now, please know that you have been called to help heal others. And it is important for you to understand that you have a great spiritual power that will be a blessing to others. And if you have had hints of this kind of thinking, consider this your sign that you can be of service to the universe, and you will be supported in that way. So there's another thing I want to wrap up with, and I want to tell you about your power animal. Okay, you have a lot of power animals, but this one that came is the tiger. Okay, and the tiger is about your power. And you will have a greater depth of vision and the ability to discern what others may not be telling you. So in order to manifest, it is important to pray. And that just means expressing what you want to see in life to the universe. Give your concerns and worries over to the universe. And remember, you must ask. Okay, that's letter A. Letter B. Letter B. Let's start with the Ascended Master, who's helping you. Okay, and this is so exciting. Letter B, you have quite the year ahead of you for 2020. The Ascended Master helping you is Lakshmi, and that's Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth, fortune, and prosperity. Yay! Her name means to understand or to have a goal. So does it mean she's going to drop a bag of gold on your lap with you doing nothing? No. What it means is if you put your mind to it and you have goals and you have plans and you work towards those, you will be blessed by her and her energy. Okay, she's a Hindu goddess. She goes back to 100 BC in the Hindu culture. She is well respected by the Hindu people. She represents abundance, and she helps people achieve their sense of purpose and vision. So you might want to Google her, take a look, see what she looks like, print out a picture of her. She's a beautiful goddess. She usually has gold and beautiful jewelry on, and she would be someone you want to put in your space, like a picture of her in your space as well. Okay, so if she were to speak, Lakshmi would say the ultimate goal is not about money, but knowing what makes you happy. And so she wants you to enter into a state of mind that will allow you to receive your true wealth. This year, in 2020, you will overcome the fears that you had in 2019. And since you have released those fears from 2019, I feel like you've been working on this, allowing some of these things to move past, you're going to start to see evidence of the new awareness you have in 2020, okay? So some other things that came up in this reading, it was all about money, it was all about the future, it was all about career and professional and building your world physically. So this is great. So you are able to build a new foundation for your future. Just like a building has to have a firm foundation, you need to have a firm foundation for where you're moving forward. So you also may become a leader or demonstrate leadership abilities to others because you're going to see what works and what doesn't. And you will move forward with career changes as you work with as an authority figure. And you will be able to work through any issues you have had. Also, if you had any problems with your father, like any kind of issues growing up, you're going to work through those as well. So it's all about being a leader, embracing your male side, and really taking charge of what you want to do with your life. So another card I drew for you was the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, that is an awesome card. That card is about abundance, prosperity, and fortune. Pretty awesome, right? You will experience unusual opportunities concerning your finances or creativity that will allow you to have major breakthroughs this year in 2020. This is abundance in the physical world, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Okay? You are determined, and if you're not, you will start seeing evidence of this. You are determined to turn your life in a more abundant direction. And you may experience unexpected opportunities that will be a win-win for you in 2020. This certainly looks like a career year for you. You also are going to have a Midas touch. Midas meaning the tail of the man. It was a king, and anything he touched turned to gold. Okay? So know that you will have the Midas touch in 2020. And this will come to you either for yourself, and whether you work for yourself or whether you work for others, okay? You have a natural business sense, and you will experience a thriving career this year. 2020 will also be a time where you learn and study and research new ideas about work, finances, and goals. It could be a seminar, it could be a class online that you take, or just some research that will help you get on the ball with what you really want to do. Wonderful news is on its way for 2020, and there is more indication that you will have a promotion or new career opportunity. You may even have an award given to you. Whatever it is, you will have positive recognition for your hard work. You will receive accolades in the public eye, or maybe even an offer of help from someone who is successful, like a mentor. And you will make smart choices this year. It's sounding fantastic for you. It is important to visualize success and see yourself doing well in this situation, because your faith will help you achieve a positive outcome. If you get nervous, focus on service, meaning if you can answer the question of how can I make the world a better place, you will be supported by the universe to do so. If you want to help yourself raise your vibration, it is important for you to listen to high vibe music or maybe even dance. Because when you move and sing, you will automatically shift yourself out of any negativity, guilt, anything that's low vibration. Singing and dancing will shift you out of that, okay? If you're not sure about going into something that you want to do for a business, you can start working on it now and keep your other job to pay the bills, okay? And soon you will be supported for the job of your dreams, okay? Whether that be working for yourself or someone else, start moving in that direction in small steps. I know this, it works. It's worked for me, it'll work for you too. So the whole of this reading for letter B is that there is successful funding for you, whatever the idea is that you want to turn into a reality. Don't allow concerns about money stop you. So the animal totem that is working with you this year, among others, is the snake. Now that may sound a little weird, but the snake is about transformation and rebirth, okay? Just like a snake loses its skin and has a new one underneath, so you too will shed what does not work for you and step into your new life. Okay, so letter B, fantastic news. Letter A, awesome as well. You both have different paths to follow. So if you chose letter A, consider what I said. You might want to go back, review this, jot down some notes about what we talked about. Letter B, same thing. And if you have any questions, if you'd like a manifestation reading, you can message me on my Facebook page at Pure Love Energy. I'm happy to help you. I hope you all have a fantastic New Year's Eve, a blessed 2020, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome.
Time for intuitive listening with Trish Rock. Live from TrishRock.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is intuitive listening
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hey.
Hey, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, wherever you are watching from. I'm Trish Rock, and welcome. All right, in today's show, I'm going to be giving us a general reading for the collective. And for this, I tune in to the energy of the people that might be watching live, which is you, and also anybody who will be watching the replay. And then I ask Universe for a card and a message, and I get a message for us as a collective that will be watching this. And I'm also going to be giving you a couple of other little tips today about raising your energy, because the card that came up for all of us this week was Paul the Venetian, Experiencing Grace. And this card really is about bringing your ideas to life. It's about really tuning in and listening to your intuition about what your flow is. What's the next step for you? What is it in your life that you can create now? And, really tuning into perhaps why you've felt blocked about that in the past and how you can now move forward from those blocks. And this week, they're saying to me that you really do have a lot of those inspired thoughts coming, and they are real prompts from Spirit to move forward with them this time. And some of those inspired thoughts that you get may be ideas that you've had in the past that you haven't acted on, or they might just be some of the gifts that you have really rising up to the surface and calling to be heard. So with that in mind, and this energy that we have for this week of really lots of inspiring ideas coming our way, lots of inner inspiration bubbling up, I want to talk to you about a few ways that you can really raise your vibration to really be in tune with all of this. So one of the biggest blocks for intuition, but also any of those inspired thoughts that you receive and, want to act on, and then the blocks come and the fear and all of that. But one of the biggest openings for that is a higher vibration. And a higher vibration comes when you are feeling more joy, more freedom, and really stepping out of the thoughts, actually. That's really what it's about, because it's those thoughts that lead us back to the blocks or the old fears. So I wanted to talk to you today about a couple of ways, really simple ways, that you can raise your vibration and really be an open channel for inspiration, for intuition, and for beautiful things to start coming your way and for you to be open enough to receive them. And these are really simple things that we all do, but when you deliberately do them and consciously do them, they really do raise your vibration. So the first tip to shift your energy is to smile, right? It seems simple, but when you smile, it changes your whole energy. It really does. It's kind of like you smile and all of your cells in the body kind of all of a sudden go, oh, we're in smiling mode, right? And it really lifts you. So smile as much as you can, and chemicals are released into your body when you smile as well, that make you feel good. And when you feel good, you open up all those channels for more things to come in that make you feel good. right? Pretty simple. The next thing is singing. Now, you can just sing to yourself if you want to, or sing in the car, sing around the office, sing around your family. Singing not only raises that vibration just like smiling does, but singing also opens up the throat chakra, which is your expression, it's your communication, it's your truth, and it's your creativity. So when you're singing, you're really in that authentic flow, and that also opens up beautiful pathways to it opens up beautiful pathways for you to receive really beautiful abundance into your life, and it makes you feel good. All right. The next thing is nature. Now, when you're really caught up in your mind, in the thoughts, in the stress of the day, maybe at work, maybe the stress of children, nature really is a calming, opening energy. So, and look, if you're in the middle of a city and you just can't get to nature, even if you can, have a pot plant near your desk, or even just close your eyes and think about a beautiful scene in nature, it will really start connecting you again, and that really helps you feel more aligned. Now, another one is breathing. Breathing is a really powerful tool to bring you back to the present moment. When we are out of alignment, when we are not in receiving mode, when we're not hearing those intuitive prompts, it's often because we're just stuck up in here in our minds, and stuck maybe in some fear that's coming from past experiences. So when you can really breathe, and just 3 or 4 breaths, in the moment, will bring you to the moment, right? So, and you can just close your eyes and breathe, or sometimes I like to just follow the air going in, follow it coming out, just for a few breaths, because it brings you back to the moment. Now, when you're back in the moment, you can, when you're back in the moment, you are aligned again, and you're open to all the inspired ideas that are coming for you or through you, and you're also open to receiving more because you're out of that block from your mind. So there's just a few things this week that you can try, just try them out, and see if that raises your vibration, and see how that makes you feel, because feeling good is the doorway to your intuitive prompts. It's also the doorway to all your inspiration, and it's also that gateway to receiving, because if you're feeling good, you're saying to spirit, you're saying to universe, I'm feeling really great. Show me more things that will make me feel great, right? So on an energetic level, you're attracting more things in because of how you're feeling, and the actual overall energy of your body will start attracting those things. So this week it really is about sharing your gifts. It says sharing your gifts with grace, and waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. Recognize your gifts today and express your creative self in a way that suits you. So that's really the energy for this week. All right, now I'm going to take a couple of callers. Now, I also just want to say thank you to everybody who's reached out and joined my page on Facebook. It's amazing. If you haven't joined yet, come over. It's Trish Rock Abundance. And come over and join the page. My co-host, Johnita Francis, and myself are putting on a workshop soon. It'll be an online workshop, and all the details of that will be going up on our pages. So head over there, and she will be talking about that as well. But we're very excited to be putting this on for you. So head over and like the page. And you may also like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can find that just by searching Trish Rock. And I put up a weekly transformational message, and I also put up a weekly inspirational message for you. So I'd love to have you there. All righty. Now we've got Amanda in Edenderry from Ireland. How exciting. I've got a couple of friends in Ireland. All right.
How are you?
Amanda, how can I help you today, Amanda?
Hello. Hi, Trish. I'm actually just looking for a reading to connect with my parents. Basically, I lost my mother 6 years ago and recently just lost my father 2 weeks ago. I just like to know how they are, like if they have anything that they need to say. More just that I'm desperately missing them.
Okay, yeah.
Hello.
I didn't catch all of that, but did you say you lost your mother a few years ago?
I did, yes. And I recently lost my father 2 weeks ago.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I want you to know that they're together, obviously, and I feel they had a real soulmate connection. You know, not everybody who is in a relationship or a partnership is a soulmate connection, but I feel they really were. And I feel they've had many lifetimes together, and so they're kind of planning their next one now. And I just feel there was so much fun. You know, they were very curious, playful people, is what I'm hearing. So
yes, they were.
Yeah. I feel you get a little bit of that from them as well, Amanda.
I do sometimes.
Yeah. I feel you're a bit curious and playful too, and they are there when you're having that joy and when you're living those beautiful moments. So, you know, they're still experiencing that human joy and that human curiosity through you. So, they're still around you, and they really love that you have that curiosity as well. To really, I feel that you do sense them around sometimes, but perhaps don't trust that. And
I'm kind of thinking that they're not.
Yeah. If you can really, on those moments when you are feeling that they're around, just try to tune out of your head and maybe do some breathing and really just tune into here, because this is in your heart is really where you'll hear the messages, not in here. So you just need to go like in here and out of your head when you sense that they are around, because you will get some intuitive messages. But the other thing is that I feel that they show you things as well, like they lead you to things in the physical. But once again, you're not really trusting that within yourself.
Yes. No, I don't think that I'm open enough to receive what they're trying to show me.
Yeah. But definitely know that they are around, and they're, planning their next adventure. And they certainly love the adventure you're having in your life. And whenever you're really having fun, and it's interesting because it's really tuning into the energy that I've just been talking about, that we're in for this week, about being playful, about having fun, about really being in alignment with joy. And when you're in that energy, you will notice their energy more, and you will really pick up on the messages. But, I can see they've just got these really big smiles on their faces, and they're absolutely so proud of you. And they really just want to say that there's something that you are wondering about moving forward in. It might be something to do with money or moving home. They're saying to me that it's a good idea. So if you've been looking for some answers on that, they're saying that's a good idea. And
actually money that we're hoping on coming back.
Okay, yeah. So they're kind of saying, yes, it's a good idea. So listen to your intuition on that one, and maybe move forward with that. Yeah, but please know that they're around.
Yeah. And
they're certainly not in pain or anything. They're really just in a beautiful, loving energy now, as we are when we're in spirit, and really just enjoying the adventure with you now. Beautiful. I hope that's helped, Amanda. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much, Trish. Thank you so much for your reading.
You are very welcome, Amanda. Have an amazing rest of the day or evening.
And you. Thank you very much for everything.
You are very welcome. You are very welcome. All right. Now we've got Matty in Ahoskie, North Carolina. Ahoskie. Okay, awesome. Hello, Matty.
Oh. Hello. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm still here. I'm hanging in there.
How can I help
still
you?
Going to, huh?
How can I help you, Maddie? You have a question?
Yeah, I was concerned about my fiance's health, and I was wondering, is he's going to get any better with his health problems he's having?
Oh, who's that? Your husband or his son?
Fiance.
Oh, your fiance. Okay, let me have a look here. Let's see what comes up.
He's a little Aquarius.
Yeah. I feel for him that his some of the health issues are coming from worry in him. And, sometimes it feels the other way around, like he's worrying because of the health issues, but some of the health issues are because of his worry. And I just really feel that if he could if he could really look to the future about, perhaps what would, what is his plan for future? What would he like to create in his life? What would he like to create in his future? Because I think that the worry is kind of making him. It's keeping him in that same state. Is what I'm hearing. So, that's. They just keep saying worry. So, is he? Is he in a bit of a depressed kind of state?
Is he what? He has a heart problem. He had it for years, I believe.
Yeah. So, is he feeling depressed though?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. I just really feel that the heaviness of that worry and, feeling depressed about the whole thing is actually making it worse. So really the best thing that he could do on a daily basis to lift his energy and his vibration is to exactly what we're talking about here through this show, is to find ways to raise his vibration, to more ways to feel happy. And, sometimes in life we focus on what's going wrong when there is a lot of things going right. And if he's your fiance, then obviously, you've got a beautiful relationship blossoming there, and that's something beautiful to focus on. And I'm sure there's some other things in his life that are really happy and joyful. So I would really encourage him, Maddie, to start focusing on and start looking at the things that are great in life right now, and a bit less focus on the problems. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because he's into music, and I wonder if that's going to be successful also for him.
Right. Well, it will be successful if he thinks it will be successful. If he hasn't got a vision for the future, if he's not thinking that he's going to be around to enjoy that success, then he will sabotage it. So once again, he needs to really just tune in to what makes him happy, and if music lifts his energy and makes him happy, do that. And you just never know where that will actually lead.
Yeah, that makes him real happy when he does that.
Yes, so I would encourage more of that, Maddie. And I think you're a beautiful influence on him as well. So do whatever you can do to have some fun around the house too.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I love him. I love him so much.
Well, good. I'm really pleased to have spoken to you, and thank you for calling in, and good luck with everything.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Okay. I have one more question. It's about my son that's incarcerated right now. He's 17. Do you see years coming towards him or months coming towards him of what he had done?
I can't quite understand that. Do I have to? Yeah.
He's in jail. Yeah, he's in jail, and I've been, praying for him and stuff, and it's his first offense. And they said that he has 9 counts, and I wanted to know if they're going to give him less time or.
Right. Okay. Yeah, look, I really feel that it's going to go well, but not everything that you're expecting in good results. But I think it will go. Okay. So,
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
All right, we'll have to wrap it up there. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for listening again today. I love being here, and I hope you tune in every week. Once again, please head over to my Facebook page at Trish Rock Abundance and come and join us there. And also, I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you just search Trish Rock. And subscribe there. It's been an absolute pleasure being here again today. Thank you. Have an amazing week, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Amanda Hall Psychic with Amanda Hall. Live from AmandaHallPsychic.com.au. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Amanda Hall Psych on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Welcome to A1R Psychic Radio here on Moonstruck TV. You're here with Amanda Hall Psychic all the way from the Gold Coast in Australia, and I'm pleased to say we've had a tiny little bit of rain where I am this morning before we go to air. I know it's late in the afternoon where you are in the Northern Hemisphere, but I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody that's been sending messages and sending money and sending support to Australia's bushfires. The bushfires, unfortunately, have not ceased to be raging around the country at the moment. We've got a couple of them under control, but there's still many of them around the nation burning. And for those of you that have been watching it on the TV, and yes, it is a horrific catastrophe, And it's actually been burning, a lot of these fires have been burning since early September, late last year. So it's a very, very long fire season here in Australia, and we've had a lot of loss of life, we've had a lot of loss of property, but more importantly, we've had a huge loss of our native animals, and a lot of them now are heading towards the extinct list, particularly the koalas and a number of other species. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank everybody that has sent their support, their money, their love, their positivity, and please keep praying for rain. We desperately need it to put these fires out. And it's been an overwhelming response that how the world has responded and sent their firefighters to help us fight this terrible fire that's raging many states in Australia. So let's get on to something more positive, and let's look at the Secret Tarot card of the week. Now, this is the card from the Secrets of Tarot set. Now, it's the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups can sometimes be a little bit of an ambiguous card because it is the card of money fluctuations. And I'm sure many of us have experienced that over the last few weeks as we're starting to get over the spending that we did in the months of November and December leading up to the festive season. But it can also be on a secondary meaning, being offered something that you may or may not want. You can see the gentleman sitting there under the tree contemplating his future, looking at things, wondering what his next move is, and he's got his arms folded. Now, that's the part of being offered something that you may or may not want. He has one cup coming out of the clouds, so there's the offer, but he also still has three cups full and upright in front of him, so indicating he's in a good position of choice. So he has the opportunity to sit there and contemplate his navel a little bit and decide whether or not what's being offered is where he wants to go. So I think it's a time when we can all start to really focus on what is it that's being offered to us in our lives. Do we really want it? Are we ready to move forward? Is this where we want to proceed for 2020? And it's, you know, we're still getting our head around and our tongues around the word 2020. And something that interesting crossed my desk this week too that I want to share with you, and if you're like me, you're sort of oblivious to a lot of these things. Someone said to me, when you're writing the date on something, don't just end it in a /20, because that means it can be altered where someone can add a 19 or a 10 or a 01 or whatever to the end of the 20, where we tend to abbreviate it. So I'm now going to be in the habit of, when I'm signing something, I'm going to be putting the full year 2020, not just putting in the abbreviated version of 20. So we're going to move on to the soy candle of the week this week. Now, this week I've chosen the patience candle. Now, you might ask, why would I choose a candle like that so early in the year? Well, the reasons why I've done this, I think we can all do with a little bit more patience at the moment. I think there's many of us that feel quite frazzled, that we've just coming out of the tail end of the full moon in Cancer. And it's been a very, very powerful full moon this year. It's been an eclipse as well. So there's been a lot of stuff that's come to the surface. A lot of old hidden things have surfaced. Emotions became very strong and very intense and even exaggerated. And people were inboxing me and letting me know that they'd heard from people they hadn't heard from in a very, very long time. And, you know, things were finally discussed and put on the table, and air was cleared, and people sort of made apologies and sort of wanted to sort of really kick the year off into a much more positive, open and transparent way. Now, during this last week too, we've had that terrible tragedy where that plane was shot out of the air and all those people lost their lives. That was just a terrible tragedy. It had nothing to do with the full moon. I want to be very clear on that. But we do all need to have more patience, I think, with the things that are going on in our lives and the people that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. I think if we can all try collectively as a globe to be a little bit more understanding, a little bit more caring, to not be so impatient and just sort of say, okay, all right, I was going to bite your head off, but I'm just going to take a breath and sort of say, okay, how can I help you? How can we resolve this? How can we move forward in a more calm way? And I think if we can all adopt a little bit more patience and a little bit more calmness in our lives, I think we can calm down a lot of the very intense planetary configurations that are going on at the moment, where everybody seems to be in such a hurry and they're sort of trying to sort things out. And I appreciate there's a lot of stuff going on politically around the world, and lots of things are changing and lots of things are coming out of nowhere, that we are all feeling quite overwhelmed and we need to deal with a lot of stuff. But I think now is the time we can show our fellow man a little bit of patience. For those of you that don't want to work with a big candle, you can always buy a gift box set where you can make it up individually with what you want. And this week I've chosen the Good Luck candle to bring in some good luck for the new year. I've chosen the Simply Tarot candle for those of you that are working with your psychic work. And that can, a Simply Tarot candle can enhance anything, whether it's numerology, astrology, tarot reading, angel cards, or just listening to your guides. And the final candle I've chosen this week is the candle of love. I think love makes the world go round, and I think we could all do with a little bit more love in our lives at the moment, because loving energy gives us the patience to deal with things that we find intolerable, or the things that are making us a little bit frayed with our temper, or not having the patience to deal with people. So love is what makes the world go round. So that now brings me to what's actually happening astrologically. Now, I know we touched on that we're on the final hours of the full moon in Cancer, and this is the first full moon for the year. And yes, with the full moon being back in Cancer, it's back in its own sign. So yes, it was at home and it felt comfortable. And this is one of the major reasons, I think, why it was sort of such a powerful, exaggerated, intense full moon, because it was an eclipse as well. So when we have eclipses, it seems to amplify everything or exaggerate it or take it out of its normal realms. So it was a time where people were sort of feeling like they really had to sort out things. If there was issues that had been left undone, or if there'd been an argument that happened, say, even 20 years ago, it was now back into the forefront of their mind that they had to take responsibility. They had to do something about mending those fences. And it's really important for those people that reached out, and some people would have had a positive outcome and some people would have had a not so positive outcome. But what I want you to look at now is, even if you didn't have a positive outcome, look at it as being on the score that you tried. The issue is now complete. It doesn't matter what the end result was, that you reached out, you tried to resolve it, and now we can put it to rest. Now we can release it and let it go and say nothing more can be done. And that's the positive message, I think, out of the full moon in Cancer, for the first full moon for this year and the first eclipse for this year. So moving on to what's actually happening transit-wise, we still have a plethora of planets sitting in Capricorn, and we will have for some time. We still have the Sun sitting in Capricorn, holding hands or conjunct Saturn, the planet of discipline and restriction and structure in our lives, and he's also holding hands or conjunct Pluto, the planet of transformation. Now, all of these three planets are sitting in Capricorn, which is an earth sign, which rules big business, it rules governments, it rules official things in our lives, but it also governs anything earthy, and that means the earth that we walk on. So this is why we're going to see and hear a lot more about climate change over the coming months. And yes, it's amplified at the moment with the Australian bushfires, and we're starting to see protests around the world where people are sort of starting to stand up for what they believe in, and sort of trying to get people to listen in high places to say, this is not acceptable. We as a globe are not going to put up with this. We want to do something about it. Now, it's very, very interesting also, because we do have another planet in Capricorn, but one that's not holding hands with those three planets, and that's the planet Jupiter. Now, Jupiter's the planet of expansion, opportunity, higher mind, religion, the ability to be able to expand things right out. Now, sometimes Jupiter's role is, sometimes, even though we are looking for expansion in our lives, sometimes the expansion comes in the form of cutting things out or releasing things that no longer serve us. And by doing that, we are able to then be able to work with the opportunities of being able to bring in new things, of being able to say, this is great, this is what's happening, this is where I'm going, this is what I need. And by fine-tuning or pruning my lives and removing things that I've worked with, I've dealt with, that are obsolete or complete, that then I can open my world right up to where I need to be going. So it's a very, very positive thing that Jupiter has just started his early transit into Capricorn. He will be there for approximately another 11 months. Now, Jupiter is also making a very, what we consider a wide aspect, or a wide trine to Uranus, the planet of the unusual and unexpected in Taurus. Now, when I say wide, it means it's still got a little way to go before it reaches its full potential. But what I'm excited about with Jupiter trining Uranus means that I think we've got opportunities now to get some real breakthroughs, to have situations where people haven't been listening before or governments haven't been acting, that finally we're on the home stretch here where we're starting to break down those barriers and people are starting to put their listening ears on and saying, wow, okay, this is what they mean, this is what they want. So this can only get stronger over the coming months as Jupiter makes a tighter aspect to Uranus in Taurus. So I think it's a very exciting time to say, finally, we might start to get some action on climate change. And if this has had to happen because of this catastrophe, well, then so be it. This is the way that it's had to be. Sometimes things have to happen so that it forces our hand to go another direction. Now, before I wrap up our glimpse around the universe, I just want to have a little talk about the planet Venus of love and affection. Now, Venus has just moved into Pisces, and this is very exciting as far as I'm concerned, because Venus is the things that we love to do in our lives. It's the things that put a smile on our face. It's the things that make us happy and dance around with excitement. The fact that it's just moved into Pisces is sort of such a gentle, sort of flowing sort of energy. So for many of us, it's going to be a time where we're going to be looking at things that are going to put a smile on our dial, whether that's art, whether it's walking in the rain, whether it's going to spend some time with some friends, or just going and having a coffee, or just being with ourselves, or learning something new that's going to bring us some peace, some happiness, that's going to put a smile on our face. It's a lovely transit. So it's a time, yes, some people will fall in love, but I don't want to look at it as just being that. I want to see it as being something that's going to bring something loving and positive into our lives. So we're going to take our first caller, and it's Sarah in Red Bluff, California. Are you there, Sarah?
Yes, I am.
You have a question that I can work with, please, Sarah.
I just wanted to know if a new job and a new move was in the future for me.
Okay, let's have a look at that for you, Sarah. It's interesting because they're taking me back to last year, where I think from about August last year, you really started to become restless, and you really started to sort of look at your life as a whole, didn't you? Sort of dissecting it up, looking at it, sort of saying, this doesn't suit me anymore. I feel as if it's time for a change. But at that point, I think it was just the very early stages of you starting to sort of analyse everything. Is that when you sort of started to feel restless, Sarah?
When?
August last year.
In November, yeah.
Okay, well, that was
towards
showing
the end
me
of the
from
year.
August. It was like, from August, it was like the momentum, the energy was starting to build. It was sort of showing you that things were not quite as they had been. It was like time to start sort of analysing things and looking at things. Having said that, yes, I do believe that there's going to be a new job, and yes, I do believe there's going to be a move, but I don't know that it's going to be quite as soon as what you would like it to be, Sarah. I'm being shown March. I'm not seeing much before then, so I'm not sure whether that means that's when the actual move takes place, or when that's when the energy's at its highest, that you'll be sort of really in a position of choice then to sort of make decisions. You've got a job offer. I feel there's 2 job offers on the table, and it'll be a choice between which one you feel fits you the best. I sort of was more inclined for the second one, the second opportunity you get offered. It just seemed to fit better. I mean, both of them are good jobs, and both of them would offer you most of the things that you're looking for, but the second role to me just seemed to fit that little bit better. So when you say a move, Sarah, are you looking to move like a long distance away from where you are, or just a local move?
Yes, I'm looking to move to Arizona.
Right, okay, because I didn't see you staying locally, so I just wanted to be clear on that. This to me was sort of like I'm packing everything up and putting it on a carrier and off we go, so that's good. So Arizona's a much drier climate, is that right?
Is what?
Is it a much drier climate than where you are in California?
Yes and no. It's kind of weird because the climate change, they've gotten a lot more rain than usual.
Okay.
And here, hot, but really cold winters. So we have the most extreme of extreme.
Okay. No, it was just, they were just showing me that with the drier air that would be normally what you'd get in Arizona from the way they presented it to me, it was like it seemed to suit you better, like the climate was better for you all round than where you're currently living, which I'm not going to say has caused massive health problems, but I'm just going to say that you seem to thrive better in Arizona than you do where you are in California. And to me, that's important. If we can find a location that our body's comfortable with, that, you know, that sort of lengthens our life and it gives us, you know, more pleasure, doesn't it, to be able to pursue the things that we like to do. So overall, I think it's a good move. So I'm hoping for you, Sarah, that you're actually packing up and moving by March, but I'd be more inclined to say that's when the offers come in. But either way, it's a good move and you will get there and you will enjoy, you know, the opportunities that are going to unfold for you in Arizona, and that's wonderful. Okay, we're going to leave it there with Sarah. We're going to go to Tyresha in Daytica. Oh, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one. That's too hard for me. It's in Illinois. So are you there, Tyresha?
Fine. How are you today?
Do you have a question I can work with, sweetie?
Shoot. How do you see my future in, like, my love life?
Okay, so no one special in your love life at the moment that you want me to look at?
I've been with somebody for 12 years off and on.
Can you repeat that for me, sweetie? I didn't quite hear you.
I said I've been with somebody for 12 years off and on.
Right. Okay, so do you want me to look at them first before we look at the potential of someone else?
Yes, please.
Do you mind sharing with me their first name, if that's possible?
Edwin.
Okay. I feel that's run its course. They're showing me the symbol of that's now complete. I mean, even though I know you've invested a lot of time and energy and wondered where this was sort of leading to with its on again, off again sort of situation, but I just sort of feel towards the end of 2019, it was almost like you threw your hands in the air and said, that's it. I can't do this anymore. You know, like I've run out of patience now. I've run out of ideas. I've run out of things to do. And I think you sort of made, even if it was only a decision in your mind, to draw a line under it and say, that's it. Whether your heart's caught up with what emotionally you did on a soul level is a different thing. But I do feel that you are now or will be ready soon to be able to put that into the past. I think where it belongs. I don't think it deserves any more energy or any more input because everything that you've tried still hasn't been successful. It's interesting because they're showing me in the month of April that there's going to be a giant pink heart. Now, usually when they show me a giant pink heart, that's indication of a brand new love coming in. But this is exaggerated. This heart is that big I can't see anything else. So it's obviously going to be somebody that's coming into your life that's going to be so super important that they're going to knock everybody else out of the equation. Anybody else that you've ever cared about or ever been in love with, they've been sort of kicked to the curb, and in comes this new person, and they're just going to fill every nook and cranny of you with their love, and it's going to be a very beautiful relationship. It's interesting because this man has got dark hair, and I'm going to say to you, yes, he is brand new. It's not anybody that you've met previously. But I also feel like you, I think he was in a situation that dragged on for many years with it on again, off again, try this, try that. And it was only less than 12 months ago that he drew a line under it and said, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I've got nothing left in the reserve tank to try and make this relationship work. I've run out of ideas. And then he went through a period of time where he was sort of blaming himself that maybe he could have done more, and then he'd give himself a stiff talking to and say, no, but I tried everything 10 times over and nothing ever made it right. So then he sort of made a promise to himself that he wasn't probably ever going to fall in love again because he'd had such a bad trot of it. And he just sort of decided that he was just going to be happy with being himself. Now, interestingly enough, during the time that he's been just being happy with being himself, so many more of the things that he let go of in his life, the things that gave him pleasure, whether they were hobbies or pursuits or his music or, you know, doing something creative, all started to come flooding back in. And this is a good thing because both of you, I think, have had a very similar experience. So you're both going to be a little bit shy when it comes to the first instance of the two of you meeting, and not sort of jumping in feet first to something, like taking it very slowly on a nice friendship to begin with, get to know each other, have some laughs, have some fun along the way, and then when the love bug bites you, when the both of you feel comfortable, then we'll move it into a dating situation. But initially it's just going to be two friends getting together having coffee, two friends going out for a meal, two friends going to catch a movie, and things like that. And it's going to grow from that, which I think is absolutely wonderful, because when the two of you do decide that you're going to become a couple and this is going to be, you know, a dating situation, then I think it's going to move very fast. And it's like by then there is no question marks. You know each other so well that you're so comfortable to just sort of take it to this next level and move forward, which is wonderful, and it's perfect. I don't feel uncomfortable with it. I feel very, very positive about it. And I feel within 12 months of the two of you meeting, the two of you are sitting down having a discussion about spending the rest of your lives together and, you know, sort of looking at where you're going to live and how we're going to sort out finances and, you know, who's going to do what. And I feel by then, I think he's just taken a new job, which has given him quite a substantial increase in finances. So there'll be discussions about hoping to purchase a property together within the first 12 months of, you know, making this a permanent arrangement. So you've got a lot of things to look forward to. And with this, I think, is also going to come an improvement of your health. Because this previous relationship that was on again, off again was so taxing, it seemed to rob you of your energy a lot of times. There was a lot of times there that you were really sort of having to force yourself to get up and participate in life. A lot of that now will go. I'm not saying we can magically erase any health issues that you've got, but what I'm seeing on an energetic level, that you're starting to become full of energy again. You've got your attitude's changing. You're becoming far more positive. Things that would have bothered you 6 months ago, you just sort of shrug your shoulders and say, well, so what? And that's a good thing, because it means that you're healing and you're healing your soul. So that's really important. I hope that's helped you.
Yes, it did very much, actually.
Good. Yeah, because you've been, you know, through an awful lot, and it's time now for you to be able to sort of say, I don't need this anymore. I don't deserve to be treated like this. And I think that's the important thing, is that, you know, you've recognised that you couldn't have done any more in this relationship. And that's sometimes the hardest thing, is to admit to ourselves that, okay, it is time to draw a line under it. There is nothing more I can do, because we as human beings are taught to sort of, you know, keep going to the bitter end. But sometimes I think we have to say, well, you know what, this isn't working. It's time for me to draw a line under it and put myself first and move forward. So I wish you well, and I know you're going to have extreme happiness with this new relationship. So that's where we're going to leave Taisha. So for those of you that are watching the program that might be struggling with a relationship and wondering whether or not it's the right time to move on, can I just sort of suggest to you, if it's been on again, off again, on again, off again, and, you know, you sort of think that this is time now that you need to make some choices, sit with it, think about it, look at it, and then move out, make the changes when it's right and it's necessary for you. Not always is it the right time for each and every one of us to draw a line under something, but look at your relationship like a cup. When you break a cup and the handle falls off and you glue it back on, you can still see the cracks of where it had previously broken. It's never as strong as it was when you first purchased it. Look at relationships being the same way. A good relationship should not require you to keep trying to patch it back up and glue it back together again. Yes, all relationships have their times where we may not see eye to eye and we have different opinions with each other. But in my experience and being in this sort of work for over 45 years now, if you've got to work that hard at patching something up all the time, then it's not right for you. A good relationship should flow. It should be relatively easy, and the two of you should work together as a team to make it right. We don't always agree with each other, but we can agree to disagree. So I hope that's helped you if you're struggling with a relationship, and don't forget to try and find a little bit more patience in your life this week as we move forward. And again, on behalf of the nation of Australia, we want to thank everybody in the world for your kind wishes, your money, your support, sending us your firefighters. We really do appreciate it here. And most of all, please keep us in your prayers and please pray for rain. We need an end to this catastrophe. So until next week, bye for now and have a great week.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for the Modern Day Medium with the Modern Day Medium. Modern Day Medium. Live from the moderndayMedium.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is the Modern Day Medium
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello and good evening. It's Michelle here, the Modern Day Medium. Delighted to be here this evening with you. And we've got a great show in store tonight. I've got a wonderful guest with me, Jono. And we'll get round to him in a minute, as long as you don't mind, Miss. That's
fine.
What I wanted to talk about was just this full moon, first of all, 2020, how it's been quite chaotic energetically for us. I don't know how many of you have been going through massive emotional upheavals, struggles. 2020 was meant to be great. 2020 was meant to be the best. It's just the end of it with this beautiful wolf moon that we've had. On my last show, I was talking about it. It's all been about release and let go, and release and let go of the emotions. And so now within the next couple of days, things are going to really, really settle for everybody, and it's going to be just lovely. Much more harmony, much more emotional issues have gone, and more clarity for everybody. So it's going to be more peaceful, shall we say, and better sleep as well. I don't know if anybody's been struggling with their sleep, feeling out of sorts, but it's all going to settle down, guys. So I just thought I'd share a little bit more about me and my life. I'm not in my normal set here. I've actually come up to Wiltshire. I'm here at my sister's, and who is sitting next to me is my future brother-in-law. This is Jono. Here is my future brother-in-law here. Lovely. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about my family. I come from a very spiritual family. I'm incredibly lucky and very, very proud as well. My twin sister is an amazing, wonderful psychic platform medium. She has taught, trained, travelled in Wales, and the amount of people's lives and hearts she's touched is unmentionable, quite frankly, and the people that she has helped. Her husband, my other brother-in-law, Gary, is also a good medium, but he's a great psychic surgeon as well. And they work together quite a lot, and they run their own churches. They're just phenomenal workers. And then I come into my elder sister, Louise, who is also a psychic medium and amazing healer. And she has also dedicated her heart and life for at least the last 15 years to working with spirit, giving messages, working in churches, healing people, and bringing through loved ones, indeed proving that life is everlasting. So incredibly lucky. And then, of course, there's me. Me, Louise and Michelle have worked... Me, Louise and Michelle? What? Me, Louise and Simone have worked together as the Spirit Sisters as well. And we've been lucky enough to be in the Daily Mirror, which is a national newspaper here in England, for about 8 months. We've been in lots of spiritual magazines. We've done radio shows and a lot of platform together. We're just taking a break at the moment and doing our own thing. But the reason I wanted to interview Jono tonight, which also Simone does do a lot of releasing negative energy and releasing these things can really affect us in our life quite dramatically and not know what's going on. So I thought it would be good to share this with as many people as we can, because it really does help bring in clarity and understanding what can be going on with you in a deeper level. So the thing that I want to ask to Jono is just to say to Jono, just tell me a bit about you, or tell everybody about you. Obviously I do, but it's so fascinating. So just tell everybody what it is you do, how it works, and how you've got into it.
Yeah, fantastic. So I work as a spirit release therapist. I help people with psychological problems. I help people that are hearing voices, people that have serious attachments. And I work with a team of people in the UK as well as the US, and the work is carried out remotely, so we can literally work with people I've worked on cases in Canada, Peru, Brazil, Holland, all in the same day. So it's an incredible way of working, an incredibly effective way of working too.
And how did it get you? How did you get there? I mean, I know how we met. We met in a physical circle.
In a blacked out room.
In a blacked out room, when we both used to do sitting in the dark, we call it, sitting for physical mediumship, where you would have physical things being moved, physical phenomena, absolutely. And that's where me and Jono first met a long, long time ago. But what actually led you from there all the way to what it is that you're doing now?
So really the main part of my work has always been within healing. I've been working as a healing medium. The majority of my work is within trance. I work as a trance medium, a trance healer, trance energy teacher as well. And part of that work was also in psychic surgery as well as other parts of healing. One of the things that started to become more regular was the actual attachment release. And there's many healers.
What's an attachment? What would you say an attachment is? How would you know what an attachment is? I mean, explain that in more depth as well.
Yeah, so in this sense, we're talking about spiritual attachments, which is where perhaps there's a person that has passed away and they haven't quite gone to the light for whatever reason. And sometimes they can attach to a human being, somebody on the earth plane, and they use their body as a transporter. So sometimes it's no issue, sometimes it's a positive energy, but they're just using you as a vehicle. Other times it can be a little bit more negative than that. And there's many healers that deal with that sort of attachment. And you notice it really, I mean, one of the things working in healing is that you're working through your guides. So it's often the guides that will tell you whether there's attachments, and they'll guide you to that frequency within the healing session, so that you know you can pick up on certain signals working with your guides, working in certain ways. And then you get that confirmation that there is an attachment there, and then we can start going through the checks just to see what it's like.
Just out of interest, because I mean, me as a healer and me doing all the different, as you know, all the different healing modalities that I do. So for me, I can pretty much work out if someone's got an attachment or not, whether it's in my capability to deal with it, and when I know I need to hand it over to somebody who's more professional. Obviously, that's self-responsibility with all us healers to know when we're out of our depth. But how can somebody find out about it, or how can somebody know I'm not right, I don't feel right, I don't want to take medicine, there has to be something else wrong with me? What's the signs, what's the symptoms, what's the feelings that there's something not right?
Well, this is it. I mean, one of the things in the modern day is that there's so much mental health out there, so much mental health issues, and very often a lot of this can go down to attachment or spirit release work. So people themselves, they could feel that they don't feel themselves. They could feel that they're having a conversation.
Okay.
But all of a sudden, you're replying to a person in a manner that just isn't you. So it's almost like another personality that's taken over your voice box, or another personality has come in and made your demeanour different. It's like being another person.
Yeah.
But very often the person...
can that be, sorry to interrupt, like bipolar, schizophrenia?
Absolutely.
Can all of this be misdiagnosed?
Absolutely.
Or, wow.
And very often, this is exactly the sort of people that we work with, people that experience section, people that hear voices, people that are in mental hospitals where we've done work, and within, 80% of our cases are sorted out within one day.
So can you give us an example of a case in America or Canada, or how you don't need to be present to link in, right? We all know that. We're doing it here via Skype. We're going to do a reading if we get time in a bit. But how does that work? How does it work, and how immediate are the benefits for people? I mean, and the difference is that family can see. Is it almost instant?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or?
Absolutely. So we had a case, I was contacted by a mother who, in her own words, described the last 2 weeks as the most frightening of her life. And that was because her 24-year-old daughter had done the Ouija board, and within 2 weeks they started talking in different tongues and started swearing.
So different tongue means?
So different languages.
Right.
A language they don't understand.
Yeah.
She started... she was sitting at home watching telly with her parents, and she started swearing at them.
Gracious.
And her face changed.
And how quickly did that happen? I mean, was that almost...
So that was within 2 weeks of her doing the Ouija board. and they'd gone to spiritualist churches that had helped, but they hadn't cleared.
Yeah.
And then she did a Google search.
Yeah.
And found our website.
Which your website is?
Is johnowebster.co.uk.
Brilliant.
We had a chat. So first of all, it's about calming them down and making them realise that, you know, if we are talking about spirit possession or something, it's just a form of mediumship. It's just one that perhaps isn't very...
But qualified, you have to be qualified in this. It's not just for any medium.
Yeah, no, it's not that.
Yeah.
And it's just a simple way that whenever I work as a healer, I work with my guides working through me. So I've got spirit working through my spirit, working to the spirit of the client.
Amazing.
So if they're on the couch, we can all picture that because it's physical, we're in the same room. But there's no difference between somebody being on the couch in my room,
a healing couch,
or or being in Toronto, or India, or Sydney.
Yeah.
We can still connect on an energetic level through the universe, spirit connecting to spirit, connecting to spirit, and it just really works. And that's the thing.
I've experienced it myself, and so getting more into that is you go to the higher self. You can go to the higher self, working with the guys, working with connecting in there with you and a team. Sometimes it's not just you working on your own.
Never just me on my own.
So for safety, you work with the team, and you've learned this. And there's a doctor, isn't it, that came up with it originally, and he's in America, isn't he, the doctor?
So he's just come back from Argentina.
Yeah.
So he's a UK doctor. He has, Dr. Terry Palmer is his name, Terence Palmer, and he's the leading sort of authority when it comes to remote, what we call remote spirit release. Mm-hmm. You can find him on YouTube. He's written books on this, healing the wounded spirit.
Yeah.
He's an extremely driven guy, and he's been working with a guy called Andy, who is a psychic surgeon. And over a period of 4 to 5 years, they've got a protocol. Mm-hmm. It's constantly evolving, but the structure of the protocol works.
Yeah.
And it means that we can go and check in on somebody spiritually between 10 and 15 different frequencies. So rather than just look at an attachment, that's one piece of work. And then we still have approximately 10, 12, 13 different frequencies.
Amazing,
where we check them out with different types of attachments throughout the universe. Because there's many.
Absolutely phenomenal. It's phenomenal work. And it really, the reason I wanted to do this interview with Jono is to spread the word. You know, it's in America, it's in Canada, it doesn't matter where you are. And for all people that are misdiagnosed, taking antidepressants, taking the wrong kind of medicine, when it's actually not that that's wrong with them. It's an attachment, it's an energy, it's a negative energy that's either attached to them or within, or in their aura, or within their energy, that's putting this impression of negativity within their mindset and how they are and how they think, which alters their personality into them acting and not behaving, making them feel, I'm just so incredibly out of sorts.
Yeah. So sometimes I don't even know it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be so overpowering, the person individually doesn't even know they have it because they're used to that. Sometimes the energy has been in there for 10, 15 years, laying dormant. And then it starts to come through. So it comes through slowly. And the person, what we're called a client, is kind of getting used to the energy as it's building up. So they don't see it, they don't notice it themselves.
Yeah.
But it's the people around them that notice it. It's the close family, it's the friends. And they see a difference in personality. Something's happened, a bit of trauma in their life or something. Mm-hmm. Their natural defences have been wobbled, out of balance, out of kilter, however you describe it. That's an opportunity sometimes for opportunist attachments to come in. And literally they can lay dormant or react straight away.
And when your defences are down, or when you're ill, or when you're sick, or you're grieving, you're in bereavement, and when your vibes are down, this is when negative stuff comes in. So guys, it's just really, really wanted just to talk about this a little bit. I think we've got a caller. We're going to do something here together. That's really exciting. I think we've got Chelsea here from New York. Are you there, my darling?
Yeah, hello.
Good.
Hi, Chelsea.
How are you? Good afternoon to you.
Hi. Hello. How are you guys? I'm good.
Good. How can we help you, my lovely?
I'm sorry. I can't hear you that well. What was that?
Okay, sorry, darling. How can we help you?
Oh, I'm just calling. I'm wondering about, like, my whole life kind of just, like, changed recently. And I'm just wondering, like, what was kind of in store for me, like, what I should be kind of leaning towards, and, like, finances and with love and everything.
Okay, so there's been a lot of shifts and changes that have been going on around you recently.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. All right. I have got a lovely grandfather that steps forward here for you in the world of spirit, please, my darling. And this will be on your dad's side, if you can understand that, coming from the male line in your family.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the first thing I need to say to you is he's making me aware that there's been this has happened before with you, please. This isn't the first time that this has happened, but you had quite a long break in between. You had quite a lot of stability, everything was stable, and you've had a huge, massive shift that's come in the last 3 months, is what I want to say to you, all right? Now, it is time for you to stop and breathe and absolutely get your bearings and where it is you want to go and what it is you want. Granddad is saying to you, please take your time, my love, and don't rush into anything because you're feeling a little fearful or a little bit anxious, please, all right? It's not so much, this is more about you and how you feel about you at the moment and you stabilizing within yourself. Now, it's easy for me to sit here and say, don't worry about finances, money, love, etc., when I'm not in your position at the moment. But I really do need to say to you, literally, as quick as it happened is going to be as quick as it turns around. Within the next 2 weeks, there'll already be changes and positivity coming in for you. I feel I need to say to you, there's quite a lot of stuff you needed to let go of to work out who you are and where it is that you're going and what it is you really, really want. I'm aware that you're an intelligent woman and you're a well-read woman, if you can understand that, please. Yeah. So I want to say to you that there is a change and a shift coming in for you. I'm just going to ask Jono to see if he wants to work energetically with you in a slightly different way.
So,
thank you so much.
Certainly what I have, particularly from your grandfather as well, is the one thing that's coming forward for me is that he is a great protector. And I think what you have, I think you have something coming through to you maybe in 6 to 8 months, which is going to be a new opportunity. And it's going to be something for you where you're going to think, shall I or shan't I? And the answer is yes, you will. So you have to remember that, because your granddad's got your back. And he will protect you and he will guide you and he will steer you in the right direction. So whatever this wonderful opportunity is coming in, it's going to be something where you're going to think, can I do that? Am I good enough to do that? Is that really me? And that opportunity is there for a reason. And he's right behind you. And he's not going to give you a shove because it's your decision. You're the person that has control over this. But the moment you step forward, he's behind you and he's going to be helping you all the way. And remember, he has your back. So if you do step forward with confidence because he's right there for you.
How marvellous is that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Darling. Yeah, that's lovely. Such a lot of love around you as well. And you are loved greatly in the spirit world. You really are. You have a very open heart as well, I need to say to you. And I feel that at the moment you're going through a big lesson that you're learning. And this is about you changing and evolving and working out your pathway there, which will be a final pathway, if you can understand. So what you do next is what will set you up for the rest of your life, bringing you in harmony, happiness, tranquility. And I feel with you, I have to put children around you as well and how much joy and love that brings you and that energy as well, all right? It really uplifts you. But I want to say, I feel you need this as well. I need you to have some joyful fun, some laughing and some encouragement as well. I also want to say to you, you help so many other people, you give advice to so many other people, but you're not very good at taking it, all right? You're not very good at receiving this advice, and you're not very good at asking for it either, please. And it is time for you to ask. And like Jono said, this lovely grandfather, who is a huge protector of you, he's a very kind, gentle, I feel he would have tickled you and played with you a lot when you were little. Not lots of grandfathers do that, but I feel with this grandfather that you were close, and he also loved the family and loved the family very much. And he is very, very close and around you at the moment. I want to also say to you, my darling, that I feel I want you to come back into your family a bit as well, if you can understand that. Come back into the family loop. Come back into the family arms. I feel there's distance there as well, and that this will bring healing in for you also, please, my darling. All right?
Yeah. Yes, that all makes a lot of sense. Makes me feel very comfortable to know that they are with me all the time.
They really, really are. But also, Granddad, you know, he was a real prankster and a joker as well. All right, and he has fun with you in your home, in your apartment, and where you are. He moves things around. He's trying to cheer you up. He's trying to lift the weight off your shoulders of where you're feeling just the pressure of life on you at the moment. But what he's showing me is like a bird's eye view of your life. It's absolutely fascinating. And that this is just a blip in the road, a bump in the road. And just have faith that you are and you will be okay. You're a very driven lady as well. You don't like sitting around and doing nothing for too long, if you can understand that, please. And you don't like not being busy, all right? You don't like not being busy. I feel you get bored, you get frustrated. I also need to say, Granddad is saying you've been a little bit snappy recently and haven't been quite yourself, and you're a little bit out of sorts. I hear music as well around you, and your granddad brings this in for you. So just turn up the radio, girl, and do some dancing as well, is what he wants to say to you. I think Jono's got something he wants to say as well.
I think music is a very big thing. Music has a wonderful frequency. Music can really lift atmospheres, particularly around your home. And if you're not feeling too good, you know, you can work the music on, you can turn your volume up a little bit. And you know what, there's nothing wrong with having a little dance around your lounge and sitting around the kitchen. Have some fun, put the music on, because it will lift the energy of the house.
Right.
And once you lift the energy of the house will hold energy. Houses hold energy, it's factual. And, you know, if you can lift that and constantly lift that, next time you come home to your safe area, you're already walking into an energy that is more protective, is heightened, it's more love, it has that love energy.
Yeah.
It's going to make you feel better just by coming home. And this is a really big thing. And energy is everywhere. You can use it and make it to your advantage.
Yeah. And so what Grandad is showing, both of us here clearly, is that the energy for you at the moment is just sit back, think, look where you're going to go. You've had this roadblock. You've had this bump put in front of you for a reason, for a purpose. There's bigger and better things coming in for you. So if you can, put your... do you love cupcakes, please, my darling? Cupcake.
What was that?
Do you love cupcake? Cupcake. Fairy cake.
Oh,
cake.
I don't know what that is. I can't make out what you're trying to say. Are you saying hot plate?
Sorry. Cupcake, like fairy cake. Cake. Don't worry.
I'm sorry.
Sweet tooth.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, my lovely. So it's like a sweet tooth for you as well, and Grandad. So I really want to say to you, all in all, don't live in fear, don't live in worry, and just know that things are going to come in. I see a job leaping out at you where you will not be able to avoid it. It would just be that's the one. Grandad has just made it so clear that it's coming in, and it's going to be a wonderful change. I want to say to you, this is important to have the confidence that you can go for this job. It's going to be a little bit different, but please go for it, Grandad is saying.
It's going to be completely different from like what I've been doing.
It's going to be a bit different. It's like a step up. It's like more push yourself is what he's saying. This is the time to push yourself and be confident in what it is that you're going to be doing. It's going to be with a team around you, a few more people that you'll be leading, that you'll be in charge of, and definitely go for it is what he wants to say.
Good times coming.
Yeah, good times coming. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm the Modern Day Medium. You can find me on Facebook or my website, The Modern Day Medium, and I do Skype calls and Facebook calls if you ever want another reading, sweetheart. Okay?
Okay. Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome. Enjoy. So what a lovely evening we've had. We've had wonderful Jono here, who's been explaining his spirit release therapy, which is just great. And it was really important for me to bring Jono on to explain it, where we don't have to necessarily go for the medicine or the antidepressants, because we are physical, emotional, spiritual. We're all of these things, and and we don't necessarily just have to assume that that's what's wrong with us. And so it's vital for us to understand that there could be something else that's going on. And so you can find Jono Webster, psychic surgeon, Jono Webster is it, on Facebook, website, and spirit release therapist. So that's wonderful. And for me, I'm going to be so looking forward next week to my show. We're doing something different again then. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about, but I've got so many different things that I'm qualified in that I can go through just to spread some love, some help, and advice, and of course, definitely some readings, because that's what I love doing the most. So
A1R.
A1R. A1R.
A1R.
A1R. A1R.
A1R.
The Ask One Radio Network.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and